All right. So that was the conclusion of our connection between the classical or traditional nonviolent communication, as many of you already know it, and bridging to where we're going with living compassion, or the spirituality of nonviolent communication according to Robert Gonzalez. Yeah. And now I'd like to open a preparation to cultivate the quality of awareness that is invited in by living compassion. Living compassion is living a compassionate presence for our wholeness, with the trust that in our wholeness our truth lies, and in that truth our natural giving, our compassion for others, our love also overflows. So embracing our wholeness means expanding our awareness to include the entire mind-body continuum. And I like this word continuum because I experience a continuity from the blood and the bones of my body with their nerves that give me sensations into an emotional space, into a space of meaning, longing, wishing, into the space of thought, giving context, into the five senses which are taking in the outside. And there is this continuous, almost like the breathing, sensory perceptions coming in, vibrations, contractions, openings in the body, feelings, emotions, which gives motive force, movement, will, according to meaning, longing, needing. So for me, there's a sort of, I want to call it this organic wholeness in the continuum of my being, from mind to body, from senses outside to values, what I want to call my soul, inside. And so when we want to listen to ourselves, I want to listen to, as much as possible, all the dimensions of this continuity as I can. What is interesting for me to note is that in this continuum, only the mind has the experience expanded in time. The mind holds the memories, and the mind projects into the future. The rest of my being is always here and now. My aliveness and my wholeness is always an unfolding of this here and now. So when I'm talking about my feelings, I want to talk about how I'm feeling now, which is different than being in my mind and remembering how I might have felt at some other point. My memory of a feeling is not a feeling, it's a memory. A feeling is a present moment experience of energy and information that's arising in me. Information about what matters to me, energy to mobilize towards that fulfillment. So grounding in the being beyond the mind is grounding in the here and now. Grounding in the body, in the sensations of the body, is bringing you here and now. The body, particularly, is an anchor. It gives me the body, just like the mind is the only part of the system that can go in time, the body is the only part of the system which is affected by gravity. So the body is what is held down to the earth. It anchors us in this world. When we are dealing with our emotional space, our space of longings, the mind can get overwhelmed, the emotional space gets intense and maybe overwhelming, But the body doesn't overwhelm that easily. It stays here, it sits. It might tremble, it might shake, it might heat up, it might let, and this for me is a miraculous phenomenon, water flows through your face so that emotions can move through and be released. The body is made for that. So it's an anchor for our experience. The body can hold things that the mind and the heart, even space, as we call it that, cannot. So the body is my ground, is my anchor. And as long as I'm sitting in a space where my body is physically safe, then it can hold the rest. So expanding our awareness from the body, or we call it the somatic, through sensations, first physical, then more subtle, like vibration, then into emotion, into meaning, into thought. They're all reflections and translations of the same quality, which in its heart is the meaning. So what we'll do now is experiment with expanding awareness into these different layers. A couple of layers now, and then we'll continue also after lunch. So the process that we'll do also includes, so this is on our side as when we're entering into our inner space, we do what we call tracking. And tracking means keeping track of the different dimensions of our aliveness at these different levels. And as a partner, mostly we will listen in silence and offer our presence, because being received in presence allows aliveness to somehow settle. It's being met. But to give even more the sense of being met, we can also reflect. So as a person processing, we are tracking, keeping track of how things arise in different dimensions of our continuity of being. And as a listener, we can listen in silence and we can reflect. So we'll do a practice for tracking and reflecting now. The practice has 4 rounds. Each round is building on the next. Each round has 3 sharings per person. So one round, one person shares 3 things, the other person shares 3 things. In the first round, we'll just share 3 body sensations without any reflecting. In the second round, we'll share 3 body sensations and reflect each of those sensations. In the third round, we'll share a body sensation and a feeling and get a reflection 3 times. And in the fourth round, we will share a body sensation, a feeling, and then we will immerse ourselves into that experience. And this is to cultivate the last quality of awareness that I want to bring our focus on right now, which is called immersive awareness. We differentiate between immersive awareness and witness awareness. Witness awareness is when you are the observer, somehow a little distant or detached from what's happening. You're seeing it happening, like you're watching a movie of your inner space in this case, and you're witnessing. It's very powerful to have witness awareness. It's also, in a way, you could say safe. Whereas immersive awareness takes you towards intensity. So, again, what I want to cultivate is a fluency to be able to have the distance of witnessing, which happens when we name things. So labeling is a form of witnessing. Words are a distance. And then I want to cultivate also the capacity to immerse yourself, because there's something else that emerges when you have direct contact with yourself, without the interface of words. So that's in the last round. Naming the sensation, the feeling, and immersing in them, and then getting the reflection. So you don't have to memorize all this or write it all down. We're going to do a demo. And then I will also guide the process in each round, and I'll mention the step again at the end of each round. So I'd encourage you to stay in this space so that you can hear the instructions as we go. Okay? I won't take any questions or discussion now because I want to first do the demo, then check if you have enough for the practice, and then only after that we could start to maybe talk about mind-body continuum and what it means and all of that. But I'd like to get into the experience first. So I'll just go directly to the demo.